All right, it's a Christmas miracle. We are starting dead on at 8 o'clock. Everybody that's jumping on, welcome to KBN Live, the final KBN Live of 2019. I'm Jeff Millott, of course, my co-host there, Ryan Lambert. I'm fumbling my words already, Ryan. What's going on? I'm one drink in, and I'm fumbling my words.
How long till the internet cuts out?
We'll give that maybe 15 minutes tonight. We'll see. We'll see what we can do.
Deal.
But yeah, last show of 2019, man. It's going to be fun. It's been a hell of a year. We're going to do some KBN awards here in a little bit. We got the power rankings to drop.
We definitely have plenty of entertainment tonight from our polls that we
yeah, it's going to get a little maybe a little controversial. I don't know. What do you think?
It depends on how you look at it. You can't take it too serious.
Right. So
or we wouldn't be here.
First off, just want to say everybody, thanks to everyone in the group page, on the fan page, and everything else that has, helped us grow this year. It's been an amazing year. I've got a graphic here somewhere. Let me throw it up real quick if I can find it. Oh, no. I'll find it at some point. Anyway, we have grown from, I think here it goes, right here. We have grown from 4,000 something members to, what's it show there, to year to date to right now, 8,434 members. So we've hit, 4.8 thousand people in the last year have joined the page up until now. And 2019 is not over, so who knows what we can hit. I mean, isn't that crazy?
That is very crazy.
I mean, we're supposed to be fake.
I'm glad everybody's coming on in with us. I think we are fake, aren't we?
We're fake, but the numbers are real.
Andy Middleton says, "What's up, cesspool?"
Cesspool's strong. We're going to need a bigger pool at this rate.
We are. We're going to have to look for some new real estate.
Yeah, here I am playing the volume. We're going to be at 10K, 15K by the end of 2020. Who knows?
You think?
I don't know.
I don't either.
We're just enjoying it. All right, so everybody's jumping on here. We're up to 25, 30 people. So if you're just jumping on, please help us out and share this like you always do. We appreciate that. Ryan, we talked before we started about, giving a little recap on our own personal year in review. So you want to jump off with that?
Sure. I mean, just thinking about it, I didn't, when it's happening and you're just fishing every weekend or every other weekend, you don't really pay attention to like kind of the big stuff. For me, it started out on Caddo at the national championship with the ship house crew. That's something that is a highlight of every year, especially the Cali guys flying in and Holly and Adam they bring forward. And he's a little dude. He's always entertaining. I hope that we find something I know a lot of them aren't coming out for the national championship next year. So we're going to have to find some other event to pile up on. But, moving on from that, we was the KBF Gunnersville debacle, whatever that turned into. Went from a good day to a headache real quick.
Didn't you win and not win or something like that?
I say me and Jody went back and forth. Jody Campbell, my good friend, we went back and forth first and second all day. And then, 6 or 7 hours after the tournament was over, I get a fish DQ'd and have to mail in my foam checks. But that motivated me a little bit, to be honest with you. I wasn't going to fish the FLW thing on Nickajack because I hate Nickajack, but that kind of lit a fire under me and went out and did pretty well in the Nickajack deal. And the next major goal was just qualifying for the TOC. That's all I wanted to do this year, and I took it down to the wire on the Gunnersville event. Watched Josh Stewart just stroke him on day one. My homeboy, Steve-O, got the big stick out on day two and ran all the way up on Josh. Did everything he could not to beat him and finished second. That was awesome. And then me and Steve-O and Terry Golden, road tripping out to Arkansas for whatever y'all call a lake out there.
Easy. It was at least a pretty lake, wasn't it?
I found it to be very pretty on day two. Yeah. Unfortunately, I didn't find any fish on day one.
The islands.
I know, man. I know. I learned. I mean, overall, just the growth that we've experienced, working with Ron Champion and Chase, designing Yak Addict stuff and putting out new gear. Me and Shane trying to, revive the brand a little bit. That's been awesome. Seeing my good friends do so well in these tournaments. It's been a good year. You can't knock it. It ended on a little bit of a question mark note with the merger and the shift and everything we got going now. But looking to 2020, I think hopefully all that stuff's going to be over with and smoothed out. But the stuff we got coming to the table, you can't not be excited about it. So,
oh yeah,
I don't know. I give it probably an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, it was a good year. I tell you what, my year, it was weird. It's we were talking about the national championship beforehand about hooking up down there, maybe doing some stuff for KBN and everything else. And then some people know I had a weird. I don't know. I think it's just don't save your old jokes. Anyone in the comments, save all that. But
I think it was you were scared to play me and Shane in basketball.
No,
I don't blame you. You talk a lot of shit.
I do. And to follow on that, I just dusted off the sneakers for full court the other day for the first time since
you back huh?
Well, I don't know. I'm pretty sore still, and it's Thursday. So, but I had some weird health stuff, so I had to miss the NC, missed a few tournaments early. I didn't even get out anywhere to fish a big tournament until Kentucky Lake, and spit the bit there, but I still had a blast, and we hung out there a little bit. We had a good time. I think you struggled. Did you struggle in that tournament?
Dude, I didn't even show up to that damn tournament.
Yeah, matter of fact, you put me on some smallies the next day just for the hell of it. That was a fun day too.
Yeah, because I was going to the house, son. I was done with that.
But it was fun to be there and experience that Hopi BOS atmosphere and what they had going. And then Lake Fork was after that, and then Lake Fork kind of spelled the story of my year when I did get out and started having a little success. I was one spot out of making it to the DOC at Lake Fork. I was one spot out of doing really well at the state championship, finished 5th, and one spot out of the money there. Went to the TOC shootout, one spot out. So we got that category. I think it's the last category on our little poll, the almost caught fish guy. And I wouldn't call myself that. I'm not bitching about lost fish, but it was just. And even in those instances, I sure had a hell of a time, had a blast. Even watching friends of mine win, it was still a great year. So. No complaints. Onward and upward. All you can do is learn and get better, and hopefully the check engine light doesn't come on in 2020 for me, and I can just roll on.
Be all right.
It'll be good. So looking forward to
keep your head out of the water. You'll be in good shape.
Yeah, man. And like I said, the page has grown, and it only grows because we've got 70 people on here watching right now. It grows because all the people watching, they make the KBN Facebook page hilarious. It's raw, but it is funny, and it is a unique place in the world of kayak fishing, that's for sure. So we appreciate it.
And that being said, I know everybody kind of knocks on it, but we've actually had some legitimate businesses reaching out, trying to get involved sponsorship wise on the page. Hopefully we can get some of that going for 2020. I know we've got a couple of open dates, I guess you could say, around here on some of these big lakes. I know there's a couple of municipalities that are interested in holding tournaments. We may have to kick around a KBN
making event. Moves 2020
would be a bad thing.
Oh, and hey, let me back up for a second. Ryan, Katie Backus' husband Ryan just reminded me of something. At Lake Fork at the BOS, we went out to Mark Pendergraft's little watering hole one night, and Ryan and I are the bar shuffleboard champions of the BOS series.
Is that right?
We claim that. Yes.
That's one thing I haven't gotten into is the shuffleboard. If you want to do cornhole or something,
yeah. I'm talking about the bar top, whatever.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
yeah.
You're not like your retirement home.
No, not yet. I'll be working on that soon. I'll start a shuffleboard league nation at some point. We'll get that.
Okay.
Going. But yeah, thanks for reminding me of that, Ryan. That was my big W of the year. So. So yeah, KBN awards. What do you think? We want to get into this?
Yeah, let's go ahead and
let's go. I know these guys are ready to see it. I sent you this list earlier from the poll. Some of these comments. You want to read some of these comments that were put in as answers? We didn't have a selection. You guys had to write in answers, and there were some dandies came in.
We should do selections next year. Yeah. Try to keep it a little more focused. We were kind of all over the place on this one.
It did, but it was easy to find the winners. Those rose to the top, but there was some very wide variety of submissions.
A couple of them. Whatever spawned the FOH hashtag. some stupid shit from Jim, which there's plenty of that. New Canoe adding everyone who buys a boat onto their pro staff. That's pretty good. Of course, Titan Tungsten's intimate relationship with Duke. That's something that'll go down in history.
Thanks, Duke.
And Clifton Allen being a changed man. It's inspirational to us all, I think, to see the new leaf that he's turned over. And I don't know, when Joe Herrick got the jokes I was having at his expense, I don't know. I assume that was probably Christine or Chase that.
I don't know. All the answers were anonymous, so you don't know who put these in
right.
there.
Well, I guarantee you, it was one of those two for that one for sure.
Jim just threw the heart thing in there. I don't know if that means he was the one that wrote that or he just thinks it's funny. Maybe both. I don't know.
I don't think he made a joke. I think he was just pretty much on offense the whole time. There weren't any jokes he was making.
Right. There were several entries of people just said there was too many to choose one, too many to recall just one. Everything's funny, that kind of stuff. So, we know how it rolls.
Well, you kick it off with the categories here.
All right.
Read us the top 2 or 3 and then announce the champ.
All right, category 1. If you guys did the poll, category 1 was post of the year. And I'm gonna read you the top 3 nominees based on you guys and your write-in entries. Post of the year. It's coming down to this. The suspense is unbelievable. First coming up is Jim's crotch face meme thread that came up. That was hilarious and awful all at the same time. 2, the original Titan Tungsten spam thread. And 3, the welcome to the cesspool. So we can thank a few other guys for prompting that, but that was some good work on your end, Ryan, making the welcome to the cesspool.
Well, I do try.
Yeah. In the winner, it was a close one, but the original Titan Tungsten spam thread takes home the title with a close race over the Jim Crotchface thread.
Have to be 1 and 2. That Titan Tungsten was some shade throwing though.
Yes, it was.
They got all the way out of hand.
And the thing is, I think there was like 6 different ones. Even as much as last week, somebody got pissed off about that. So maybe that's why it caught so much momentum here for the poll. So
I haven't gotten one email since I replied back to them. So Thank you, Titan Tungsten. I appreciate that.
You got out. So
I did. I struggled my way out. All right, category 2. This one, I mean, there was plenty to go on with this one. Dumbest marketing ploy of 2019. Was it Vibes Game Ender? Titan Tungsten? New share competition? Just spam everybody? Or was it Adventure is Coming, the launch of Jackson's website? The winner? Back to back, son. Titan Tungsten taking home the trophies tonight.
So,
man,
from a marketing standpoint, we're sitting here 2 categories in a row talking about them. So maybe maybe they're winning. I don't know.
How much Titan Tungsten have you ordered, Jeff?
0.
Okay, that's 0 for me too. All right, we'll work on it.
All right, category 3. This is a big one. Member of the year.
Oh,
Member of the year for the KBN Facebook group. We got some good nominees. Some of your favorites, some of your regulars, and kind of a comeback kid on the nominee list. Number 1 on the list, Jim Clark. Jim has been on the page as a new profile, an old profile, and he still leads as the most commenting guy, no matter how new he is to the page.
We need to get him a hobby, I think. That's what that says.
Second, Chase Tanner is on the list, the Photoshop wizard, Chase Tanner. Number 3, David Cruz. Cruz is always coming with some heat when the time is right. You can always count on him, the sheriff of the Justice Department out there. And then 4, Clifton Allen made the list. He had quite a few nominations, even though he's just back into the cesspool like last week. So
he's been here the whole time.
Yeah, he's been around.
Clifton never really left. We may have banned him a little bit. He never really left.
Yeah, so those 4 were the top 4 for Member of the Year and the winner. And it was kind of a runaway with all the votes tallied up was Jim, MF, and Clark. So congratulations, Jim Clark. And one of the people that wrote in there said, "I'm voting for Jim just because I know he'll hate it if he wins." So there you go.
Oh, congrats, Jim. The spotlight's on you, buddy. All right, the next category, the most prestigious tournament of the year. Was it the Hobie TOC? Ron's racked event that he does for charity for Christmas, which is an awesome event in itself. And the third category is the KBF Classic.
I don't know. That had one nomination. I don't know what it meant, so I put a question on it.
Somebody got us on that one. Of course, it was the Hobie Tournament of Champions. I mean, if anybody that watched the live feed or saw that event, or if you were there in person, hands down, that was the pinnacle of the sport that we're in right now. So hats off to Hobie. Thank you for putting on the trail and the Tournament of Champions. It was awesome. Can't wait to see what they do with it next year.
Yeah, and dive into those numbers. I think there were 50 write-ins for that category. There were 48 for the TOC, 1 for the bronze event, and 1 for the classic, whatever that is. So it was a dominant performance. Appreciate you.
Marcus Villanueva said, "Yeah, Jim, I was lucky enough to touch him at the Tournament of Titans."
Okay.
I saw him coming out of the bathroom. I didn't know. That's all right.
So category 5, we're halfway through this thing, man. Category
Like
5, funniest moment from the Facebook group for the year, and there were so many. I mean, I can't even tell you. It's almost a daily thing. But these 3 had the most write-ins. And here comes Jim's crotch face meme again. That was in this category too. Chase versus Jim meme wars was mentioned a few times. Those kind of threads in themselves. And then this one just came in lately. The Celine Dion "Heart Will Go On" dub over top of Ryan and Chase. You guys, the video you did down in South Florida.
Man, that stings. That stings.
Those 3 were the nominees, and the winner, "Heart Will Go On" native remix. So there you go. That was moving. That was an emotional deal.
I'd like to thank Brandon Barton. You know, we appreciate you coming up with that on the fly.
Yeah,
Chase,
that was awesome.
Thank you for taking part in that adventure. Oh man, what a year!
Good, yeah.
We're not going to repeat that one next year, I promise.
No, well, there'll be somebody acquire somebody, but that won't happen again.
Yeah, no, we're done with that one. Category 6, Tournament Angler of the Year, the People's Champ. Sorry, Clifton, you're nowhere near nominated for this one. Josh Stewart. Josh is a hammer pretty much everywhere he goes. The guy catches fish all over the place. So he definitely deserves to be in that. Christine Fisher, who had a banner year herself. I mean, it seemed like every other week you turn around, she's holding a big check. Matt Scotch, who dominated Texas, won pretty much every event that he came across in Texas. And then Jody Queen, you know, who is probably one of the most consistent guys that you'll see out on the national trail and the Tournament of Champions champion. The winner, Christine the Queen Fisher.
Christine the
I don't
Queen.
think that's a surprise to anybody. I mean, she knocked it out of the park this year.
Yeah, I mean, we had a lot of fun on the KBN page pulling for her in a few events. People that weren't there and the social media.
The Kentucky Lake one was nuts. I mean, it was just post after post after post all day long. You know, watching her smash those fish. That was, for me, not catching any fish. It was awesome to be able to scroll through Facebook and watch all day as the Asian carp jumped all over my boat.
No, that was awesome. David Cruz just chimed in there and said, "Why am I drinking ice water when I'm supposed to be liquoring it up?" This is actually vodka in this cup here. I'm staying in a house with Duke in a couple months, and I know that he's a vodka connoisseur, so I got to kind of get used to that and adapt to my body. So ease up, Dave.
It's like ice water for boys.
Yeah. Or whatever. So what's next? Category 7.
Up. Yeah.
Sportsman of the Year, or Ambassador of the Year is another name for this. I think there's a lot of people out there in your local areas and in different areas of the country that could easily, get an award like this. A lot of great people in this community. But the top 3 vote getters for this one, Christine Fisher, her name shows up again. Jackson Orr, the young hammer out of the Midwest there. And then Ryan Lambert. Ryan.
Oh.
My partner, getting that nomination for Ambassador of the Year.
Dumpster.
I don't know how that's possible. I thought you were supposed to be some kind of hater or jerk. How could you be the Sportsman of the Year?
I don't know, dude.
So,
who do you got?
Winner of Sportsman of the Year, Jackson Orr. And I think that kid deserves it. He's done a lot of good out there in the community. For a young guy, he's out there, doing good things and making things happen. And one more time, prayers out for his dad because I know he's going through some stuff. right now with
And
his health.
if you've ever met Jackson or, seen him on a live feed, I mean, the kid is so humble, super humble, thankful for everybody. I mean, he, just in conversation, he will thank you 3 or 4 times, like super polite. I mean, for what he's doing at his age is awesome to compete at that level. But the head that he's got on his shoulders is something else. I think there's not anybody more deserving for that one.
He's in the comments. He's watching. So Jackson, you deserved it, buddy.
Yep. All right. Next, category 8, TD of the year. We got some familiar names in this one. My A1 Steve-O in there, who has, he's helped with AJ, putting together the TOC on Chickamauga. He's ran the KBF on Chickamauga, the KBF on Gunnersville. Steve's got some experience under his belt. Duke Tran coming out of Texas with the 6 gun on his side. He runs a pretty good show out there. And, of course, you can't talk about tournament directors without talking about AJ. So, without further ado, AJ McWhorter, for what he's done with the BOS series, is your winner. And, I mean, it's it's so smooth, you can't argue with it. There's no there's no contest on that one.
Straight up. And remember, guys, these are voted on by you guys that wrote them in. This is not some arbitrary deal. You voted them in, so – hey, and let me mention some of the other names that got thrown in there. I know Josh Booth got mentioned, Patrick Malone out of Texas. There were several other TDs, and if you're a tournament director out there, just thanks to you because you make all this happen. So you guys are awesome. All right, what's next? All right, this one's a good one. This is a good one. So category 9, best long post warning. That line, the long post warning tourney recap. Rider of the year, and this isn't necessarily if you win, just some people do it no matter what happens. So long post rider of the year coming up. 4 nominees for this one. Christine Fisher, you're showing up again. She's in all these categories. Dusty Yacker or Dustin Murgoa, I can't ever say his name right. David Cruz coming in there again. And then this was actually written in several times. Everyone who finishes second or lower. So basically the entire nation. Yeah. The winner of this one, and if you've ever read one of his, you'll understand this. Dusty Yacker. His are quite, I don't know, I'd call him quite the wordsmith when he does his write-ups. David Cruz even says he has trouble understanding it when he reads them. So.
Yeah, you got to get out the thesaurus on some of that stuff to figure out what the language is going on there.
Congrats to you, Dusty. I'm sure whatever you've written is very
I want to say, I think Christine probably would have won this if she hadn't put more time focusing on her video editing. She's moved a lot of her wordy posts into videos now, so thank you for that, Christine.
Yeah, she moved into the YouTube space.
All right, category 10. If I would have landed those fish, angler of the year. I mean, there's 2 choices: the whole nation and the champ himself, Mike Elsey, and the winner is Mike Elsey for I guess his post. I know it was the Pickwick post that caught all the heat for that one. How many times was that one written in? Do you have?
It was in a handful of times, and I want to know which one of you buttholes put me in there twice. I appreciate that.
I know. I didn't know you fished 2 or 3 tournaments. I don't know how they could have put you in there twice.
True. Maybe if there was a category for if you would have fished the tournament, angler of the year.
That would have been all right.
Yeah. So there you go.
So we got through the KBN awards, guys. If you have any categories you'd like to see, we will not remember by next year, I promise. But keep this in mind, and I think we should do like a more structured selection process. Maybe. Have a nomination period and then go to the voting. What do you think?
Yeah, I dig it. We kind of did this last minute. I threw it together a couple days ago and just to have some fun tonight. So, but yeah, I think we can make it something. I mean, we're not going to go full weirdo yak angler choice awards.
No.
But we're going to try to make it fun for this page and keep it focused on this page. So, Kyle Long just said that was him. You're welcome. I thought we were homies.
He's got your back, man.
Yeah, I know. That's my guy. He lets me launch. He lets me launch in his backyard. How can I complain about that?
You pond fishing or what?
No, he just bought a house on one of the good lakes over here in Northwest Arkansas. So you're my guy, Kyle. Say whatever you want.
What kind of good lakes you got?
Huh? Don't worry about it. It's top secret. Top secret. I shouldn't
Is
have
that
probably
for your
said that.
online?
I probably shouldn't have said that on here. Everybody be DMing Kyle, but never mind.
You're gonna be an online tournament beast.
So what next? Hey, we got the power rankings. These got heated like a couple days ago. We didn't put them out yet.
I didn't even jump in on that. That was feisty.
Yeah.
Christine was pouring gas all over the fire.
That's pretty funny, man. That's pretty funny. People defending themselves, and I'm thought, damn, you don't even know what's up yet.
I know the rankings ain't out yet. We're already coming to blows over it.
Yeah, that was awesome. But so yeah, I'll give you all a little history on how that got put together. You know, this is the third year we've done it, and it's a formula that I kind of came up with by putting together some stuff I've seen with how the tennis players get ranked, golfers, some other different sports, and how they rank their things. Put it into a spreadsheet. You know, Dwayne from Tourney X and Michael from iAngler have been great as far as helping get the information and stuff like that, which it's actually obviously publicly available on their websites anyway. But pulling information from there and uploading those standings into that spreadsheet and hitting sort and just seeing what happens. And this year I pulled 22 events from every region, from the West Coast all the way to the East Coast. TOC.
And these are real numbers. Like, these are real numbers.
Real numbers. This isn't like man, I think you know, Ryan's cool. I'm gonna rank him 25th or whatever. It's not like, you know,
thanks, bro,
or second or whatever. You know, I'm not just making up numbers here. I was trying not to be impartial. Be impartial here, man. But you know what I'm saying? It's not like that. It's just numbers plugged in, hit sort, and see what happens. And it's takes into account how high your average finish, overall finishes, size of the field, a lot of different things. So. I have an idea of how it's going to turn out before I do it. When I put all the numbers in, then I hit sort, and it's not even close to what I think. So it's pretty cool to watch and see. So we'll see. Chase just said 25th is accurate for you. I don't know about all that.
I mean, he's not that far off, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I'm not going to go over the whole top 25 tonight. I have that, and I'll post that graphic up when we're done. We'll go over the top 10, and then let you guys argue about that in the comments, and then we'll see. So, and then when I'm done with this, I've actually compiled the last 3 years' rankings and did a little compilation to see the top-ranked anglers over the last 3 years total.
I love compilations.
Yeah, compilations. I'll put that up at the end. And and before we do this, there was only 5 people that made the rankings all 3 years.
Wow.
So
that's some consistency there.
Yeah. And this list this year had over 1,000 names on it to start with. Got whittled down to the top 25. So I would say if you made it in the top 100, you're doing something. I mean, that's a lot of people and a lot of competition. So with that said, let's go. We'll count down the top 10.
All right.
So let me get my graphic ready here. Number 10. This is a guy you guys know well out in Tennessee. Number 10, Jordan Marshall.
Oh, Marshall.
Jordan Marshall. That guy, he was kind of a day 2 hero this year, if I remember everything correct. It was like he'd have a decent day 1 and then come in hot on day 2 and slide up into that top 10. And he did it at a lot of big events. Yeah, except Chick.
At the BOS on Chick, man, he stroked him on day 1. I thought he had a shot at taking it all.
Yeah.
And I fished against Marshall for 4 or 5 years now. Dude, he's consistent all the time. There's not one day you can ever count him out because I'm not saying he can't fish because he can, but buddy, he is lucky. Golly. I mean, that kid, I'm serious. Like he'll throw a spinnerbait in a mailbox and pull a 6-pounder out. I don't get it.
That's that instinct. You know what I mean?
Good job.
He didn't get a roll down, Christine said. That's messed up. And we did take into account the overall number of events and kind of did a maximum and minimum and squeezed them. So if you had a horrible event, I tried to drop it off and average them out. So anyway, number 9. This guy, every time you turn around, wherever it is in the country, it's kind of like Jordan. He shows up in the top of the finishers. Out of Texas, Guillermo Gonzalez. Guillermo could easily rank number 1 at any moment in time. I mean, if I'd have said his name number 1, probably no one would have argued. So no,
he's a stick. We were talking about this earlier. I mean, Guillermo's trophy room is as big as my living room, and it is full from the bottom to the top. He's good on just about any body of water you put him on.
Number 8, going out to the West Coast. I think he's still on the West Coast. The best YouTube angler, perhaps, that exists for kayak anglers. Greg Blanchard coming in at number 8.
I think he firmly holds the title of the best YouTube angler.
Yeah.
And again, we talk about people being super personable and humble. Greg's one of them. Like, he is just nice dude, but he knows his stuff. He's fished in New York for a long time and then went out to the West Coast and fished. I think he was in Texas for a while too, fishing, wasn't he?
He went down there. Yeah, I think he won Angler of the Year in Austin or something at one point.
Yeah, like he's been pretty dominant any water you put him on.
Yeah, guy can go. Number 7, another guy that had a great year, had some huge finishes. I think we called him the St. Clair Slayer or something like that earlier in the year. Number 7, Eric Siddiqui.
Oh, Siddiqui, that boy keeps the roads hot now. I doubt out of this entire list. I know. There's some people that travel around. Cody Milton travels around too. I'd say that Siddiqui probably has more nights in the truck than about anybody else. He does put in the miles for sure, chasing these tournaments.
All right, number 6, another Tennessean, I believe, or at least he's from over y'all's way. Number 6, Russ Snyders.
He is definitely a Tennessean. We'll claim that one all day.
Yeah. He's
a Tennessee State champ, man. He came down here to Chickamauga and smoked us.
And then he went up and won the KBF Trail Championship as well against a bunch of sticks up there.
Russ is a hammer, man. Yeah. He does it for a living.
Yeah,
that's how you know you're good.
I always get confused about who's from Tennessee and Kentucky and Georgia. Everybody just fishes all that same area, so it's. But yeah, I thought he was a Tennessee guy. So Russ Snyders. Last year, I think he didn't travel as much, so didn't make that list, and some people were throwing his name out like there's no way this list can be this without him on there. So
it's true.
All right, top 5. Here we go, top 5. Drum roll.
Ooh, top 5.
And really, the whole top 10, but especially the top 5, if you could put these people in a hat and just pull one out and say this is number 1, you couldn't argue with it, in my opinion. I think any of them could be, but this is just how the numbers shook out. So here we go. Number 5, dominated Texas this year, had some good tournaments around the country. I think he finished 2nd at the TOC this year. Matt Scotch.
Old Scotchy Scotch.
Scotchy Scotch. I know there'll be some.
Got her done.
Yeah, he's always.
And I know part of what we were reading on the public page was Scotch. Talking about how I think he won 3 trail events or something. I mean, something crazy. But the attendance on that is what kind of knocked those down, right?
That's right. And then that is 40, factored in.
40 people or whatever.
And that's not discounting the fact that even 40 people in Texas is not a field full of hammers. It's just the way this is set up. It's not a perfect system, but it's a system that I'm using, and there we go. So, yeah.
And there we go.
There we go. So, number 4, the People's Champion. She just got voted the People's Champion. Number 4, Christine Fisher. I don't know where she's from now. She's from the Midwest, but she's from the United States now. She's just driving.
Yeah, I think just that travel trailer AJ drags all over the country.
So, any thoughts on that? I mean, I know we had a blast watching her this year. She could easily be.
Honestly, I'm surprised. I was going to say I'm surprised. I can't imagine who else we got. I know what names are in my head, so I'm.
And let me tell you, this is how it's kind of the way you check your work with this thing is take the best 5 events and the point values that assigned to them with this formula, total up the best 5, and then check them against how these final rankings came out. And they came out in this exact order, top 5 for your best 5, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, all right, top 3. Number 3 is last year's number 1 and this year's Hobie TOC champion, Jody Queen.
Jody gets it done, man.
Gets
it done. Quiet as can be, always got 6 pairs of glasses on, stacked all the way up his head. And he knows what he's doing on tournament day.
I'm going to be right there with him pretty soon with the glasses part anyway, not the fishing part. All right, what's that leave? Top 2? Dang, we're down to 2. We got people guessing right now. Any guesses for the final 2? Throw them in the comments.
I see Jason Willis, so he thinks Stewart and Elsie are left. I think he might have forgotten a name out of your home state.
Yes, sir. And there nobody has mentioned this guy all week long. So
Scotch did. He got him.
So number two, and doing the numbers, it came down to literally fractions, like 1.1 versus 1.45 kind of averages for the rankings. But number 2, another Tennessee hammer, Josh Stewart.
Man, Tennessee boys are all over this top 10, aren't they?
Now, when I put the top 25 graphic up, they're all over that thing too, on down beyond 10. So
yeah,
there might even be a Ryan Lambert in there somewhere.
We must know how to fish around here
Must know how to
somewhere.
fish or something.
Congrats to Josh Stewart, man. He that was last year. He got freaking drilled going to the weigh-in at the KBF. Some dude like a big Lincoln just crushed the back end of his car on the way to the weigh-in. And then I think Josh ended up winning like $30,000 or something that year kayak fishing. So he's doing pretty well with it.
I've only visited with Josh a few times, and I know we had him on the live stream not long ago, and he just seems like a simple fisherman kind of guy. He doesn't overcomplicate it. He just goes and catches them.
He would be on Scooby-Doo if he were a cartoon.
All right, so that's
where you find Josh.
That just leaves one. I'm gonna drop the whole top 25 graphic. There's a few people guessing it now, but number one overall for 2019, Cody Milton. And Cody, when I totaled up the top 5 to check the stats versus how the ranking came out, he was 15, 20 points clear of the next guy in top 5 points. He earned that, and not a lot of people were talking about that. But if you look back and think back on the season and look at all the tournaments that these people crossed up in, Cody was in the top 10 every dang time, just about, no matter where they went. So
did he miss the top 10 in a big tournament anywhere?
I don't think so. I think maybe his lowest event, he was out of the top 10 a little bit, but not very.
Where was he at in the TOC?
He finished third.
Okay,
third at the Natty, I think. Like 15th at the Trail Championship. I don't know shit.
You can't argue with that, man.
Yeah, Christine just chimed in and said he cashed like 15 straight checks, and it's funny nobody was mentioning his name on the arguments earlier in the week, but Cody just out there getting it done. You know what I mean?
Cody's gonna have to step up his recap post. That's what he's gonna have to do.
Yeah, he needs the long post warnings to rise up or do some YouTube or something. We need something out of that guy.
No, he's a stick, man, and again, super nice guy.
Yeah, and like I said, we do these rankings for fun. By no means is this a slight on anybody that didn't get in the top 10. We know that there are people all in different regions that don't travel that couldn't make this list from the events that I picked that could beat anybody I named any day of the week. No arguing that. I mean, there's hammers all over this country, so don't nobody go get all in a ruffle in the comments later. But if you want to, that's fine.
But for the people that got in the top 10. You got in the top 10 because you were competing on these big, national level events against the hammers from all over the place in their own backyard a lot of times. So
it's really cool to see. Yeah, it's really cool to see. And I've got that whole David Cruz asked for that top 25 again. See if I can put it up there again.
He's trying to screenshot it. Let
me go down. I'll go 11 to 25 real quick just so y'all can hear it. Run through. Dustin Murgawa, Dusty Yacker, Jackson Orr, Casey Reed, Mike Elsey at 14, Richie McMichael at 15, Matt Ball at 16, Jim Orr at 17, 2 Orrs in the top 20. Jacob Traba, I think he's a Cali guy, 18.
Yeah.
Garrett Morgan at 19. Our own Ryan Lambert at number 20. Solid top 20.
Stay off them booze, man. I'm going to climb the ladder.
Yeah, number. That's right. Number 21, Ken Wood, Northeast guy. 22, Jamie Dennison. 23, Jay Wallen. 24, Derek Brundle, who slid in there. He's from the Northeast also. I think Josh Evans mentioned him earlier in the week about him being a hammer. Then 25, the always steady Ron Champion. So there you go. And there's some others that missed the top 25, and just missed it by fractions of points. See if I can remember them off the top of my head. But Russell Johnson, Adam Reiser.
Dude, did you see Adam Reiser's freaking post, like his Instagram post? He knocked his 2 front teeth out with a piece of Titan tungsten. He no kidding. He got he set the hook on a log and the tungsten came flying back and literally knocked his front teeth out.
Jeez.
Most disgusting thing I've ever seen.
I'm trying to think who else was in there. Oh, Alan Reed. I don't know if you follow Alan Reed around the Midwest.
Yeah.
He was in there. There's some others that just barely missed. If you made the top 50, you did something, in my opinion, out of 1,000 people. So, well done. Cruz, you were in that top 50, son. You were in there, if you're worried about it.
Good job, Cruz.
Or maybe he was 51. I can't remember.
Probably was. 50 and a half.
And like I said earlier, let me see if I can find this. I did a 3-year KBN rankings. I know the first year I did this, it was kind of low-key. Nobody knew what Kayak Bass Nation was, and there was people saying, who in the hell is this idiot? What is this? And they laughed about it, and I laughed about it, and it was fun. But it got the conversation started, and those rankings are still there. So I put those with the last 2, this year's and last year's. Let me throw that up there. And here's your top 5 overall from the first 3 rankings. 1, Guillermo. 2, Matt Scotch. 3, Jody Queen. 4 Matt Ball, and 5 Jay Whalen.
Whalen, baby.
No, Jay Wallen. And those are the only 5 that made the rankings all 3 years. So how about that?
You can't argue with that, man.
No. I mean, several of them were in there twice, but nobody's made it all 3 except for those. Next year, I hope I'll expand it a little bit. Maybe we can go 25, 30 events. Hell, I don't know. Make it even.
Well, you'll be rolling BASS events in next year, too.
BASS events in there. Make it happen. I think it's fun to mess with. Hopefully you guys enjoyed seeing that, go down and arguing about it over the last. I thought Adam Reiser threw us a middle finger emoji. It was a thumbs up. I can't see.
I was hoping he'd post that picture of that smallmouth. He caught a smallmouth the other day, and I guess he's gone to the dentist since, obviously, but it looks like a hockey player.
Oh, man.
That smallmouth.
Sorry, brother.
He's wild. He stayed with us in Arkansas. He's a cool cat, and I mean, again, another Tennessee hammer sneaking around. You never know when he'll beat you.
That's it, man. You guys got them over there, no doubt about it. It's just kind of like Texas. Down in Texas, they got those guys.
Yep.
But don't sleep on Arkansas. We got the Cody Miltons and the Garrett Morgans and the Dwayne Beatties. We got the Dwayne Beatties.
Yeah. Oh, Dwayne. Yep.
And I'm good to finish one spot out of the money anywhere I go. So we're good over here.
Matt Ball said he's proud to make the list. One of the best dudes you got in here, guarantee it.
Oh yeah, Matt's always, and he shows out at the Natty every year.
Oh yeah,
what the heck? He's always.
He saves up for that one, man. He's he's ready to roll at the championship.
Yeah, man. Good times. It's good times. It was fun. It's fun to mess with. So I mean, 2020 we'll try to make it bigger and better, and like Ryan said, maybe make that poll a little more robust and detailed.
Structured, man.
Structured.
So we don't get so many crazy comments.
Yeah, maybe at the page keeps stats of top post. Maybe I'll just screenshot it every month, and then we'll just know. And we'll just nominate them up.
Yeah, that'll work.
Something like that, if I can remember.
That'll work.
Yeah, maybe we can get an intern to do that.
Damn, I don't know if we're big enough for an intern, man.
No,
I don't know.
We never will be.
Probably not. I'll see if Mackenzie will do it. She'll probably do it.
All right, that'd be cool.
She's getting good at math and stuff.
Yeah,
you'll have to watch your language a little bit.
Yeah. So, man, hey, 2019, it's about in the books. We're not going to do another show before the new year, but 2020, it's coming at us fast. It's going to be a big year.
Dude, it's been a good year. If you look at the stuff we pulled in, not just us, I'm talking about us as a whole in general, in our group chat, I know we talked about a lot on what we could do differently and what we can do better. And, AJ took it and ran with it with the BOS series and now Dwayne and Steve-O and Tyler Cole and them, they're doing it with bass. Like, we're seeing a lot of the kind of ideas that we had 2 years ago start to come to fruition now. And, just like having Ike on last night, I think the more interest we get, from these pros, and outside sponsors and stuff, that's what we need. And I mean, I think we're getting some attention from them now, and I like it. I hope we keep on rocking with it. I know I've talked to Randy Howe several times. He wants to come on.
Let's do it.
And jaw with us one night.
We already got 2 classic champs. We might as well just keep rolling with it.
Yeah.
Is that wild? When we started messing with this, you think we'd have a couple classic champions on this show in the last
No, I thought they'd shut us down in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, somebody else said
I thought the threats were real.
Yeah. I thought somebody else owned this page is what I thought, right?
Oh, shit. No.
Get out of here. FOH, son.
Oh, man. It's fun, Jeff. I appreciate it. I'm glad you let us stand on this platform that was your power rankings, and now it's turned into this mess.
This is just this is we, not me, man. It's just all these people that decided to jump in here and mess with it. I mean, we got it done. It's been fun, so it's gonna get bigger and better.
It's a family. We're dysfunctional sometimes, but it's a family.
All right. Hey, and frankly, this page has turned. I mean, it was pretty. It's still harsh when it needs to be, but it was at the beginning. It was pure fire every day, and it's funny still, and we still have a great time on here. But there's some real value here, and I appreciate all the people that have come.
And people get off on some hot button tangents, and tempers flare every now and then. But for the most part, you see a lot more knowledge being shared, and I think that's the way we wanted it to go. Obviously, if you do it in an open forum format, you can't. Can't control it, but
I don't mind it getting raw. It's fine, but it's it's a little bit of everything, so I dig it. Man, it's cool.
Eric Atkins said Cesspond 2020.
Cesspond? Damn it, Eric.
Yeah. He's in Washington, man. There ain't no telling what he's on right now.
True.
He's probably about to come back to Alabama and start confiscating guns.
He's literally in the cesspool right now.
Yeah, the real cesspool.
The real cesspool, for real. Godspeed up there, Eric. But yeah, what else you got, man? You got anything?
I'm good, man. I appreciate everybody, getting on the page and having fun with us. We're looking forward to next year, and we'll try to line up a big guest to kick it off with 2020.
That'd be sick. Well, yeah. Hey, next week's Christmas. Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy New Year. Boom, 2020 coming fast.
Be safe. Have fun with your families. Call if you need anything.
You got it. All right, guys. We're gone.
All right.